What would you do if you lost everything? Your job, your status, your home? In The Occupant, a man named Heavier doesn't just accept his downfall, he schemes his way back one chilling step at a time. But here's the twist. He's not trying to rebuild his old life, he's planning to steal someone else's. The movie begins with a man named Heavier, who lives in a lovely home with his wife and son. However, Heavier is currently unemployed. He attends an interview but is not selected. This makes him very upset. When he returns home, his wife suggests that they sell their home and luxury car because their financial situation is deteriorating. Heavier agrees. Before leaving the house, he informs their house helper, who has the keys to the house, that she no longer works. He asks her to return the duplicate keys. Before leaving, the helper is overcome with sadness and throws the keys into the car. Heavier and his family move into a new apartment. He also takes a part-time course to improve his portfolio. He begins giving interviews at several large corporations because he desperately needs a job. Finally, one company chooses him, but they tell him that for the next 6 months, he must work as an intern without pay. This makes Heavier very disappointed. While returning home in his car, he discovers the old house keys that the helper threw inside. He picks them up and returns to his old house. He waits outside until the new owner has left the house. Then Heavier quietly enters and locks the door from inside. He does not want anyone around to see him. Inside, he discovers family photos of the new owner. He spends some time there thinking before returning to his new home. The next day, Heavier returns to the old house. This time, he checks documents, phone lists, and other items. He discovers a red token that belongs to a rehabilitation center. He also opens the new owner's computer. He learns that the new owner was involved in a car accident that severely injured his wife and daughter. Because of the accident, his driver's license is suspended for a year. Heavier also discovers the owner's full schedule written on the calendar, including where he goes and when. The next day, Heavier visits the same rehab center listed on the red token. This center serves people who are addicted to alcohol. The new owner of Heavier's old house, Thomas, also goes there. Heavier lies and claims he also has a drinking problem. He claims that because of his drinking, his wife and daughter abandoned him. He fabricates this story on purpose so that Thomas will notice him, as Thomas's true story is very similar. Soon, Thomas invites Heavier to a coffee shop. They quickly became friends. The next day, Heavier returns to Thomas's house and begins looking at his calendar on the computer. Heavier makes changes to Thomas's calendar, which is linked to his phone. So, whatever Heavier changes on the computer is also reflected on Thomas's phone. Because of this, Thomas is late picking up his daughter from gymnastics class. His wife becomes enraged and argues with him. Thomas says he's not sure how the time on his calendar changed. Heavier keeps an eye on everything from a distance. Thomas is very upset about the incident. The next weekend, he returns to the rehab center and meets Heavier. After the group discussion, they go to a coffee shop together. There, Thomas shows Heavier photos of his wife and daughter. He adds, "I'd like to see your family too." However, Heavier responds, "I don't have any photos of them right now." Thomas then asks, "Why don't you come to my house tomorrow?" Heavier agrees and states, "Sure, I'll come." The next day, Heavier arrives at Thomas's house with a bouquet. Outside, he meets his former gardener. The gardener inquires, "Why are you here?" Heavier replies, "Some of my old bills are still delivered to this address. I came to collect them." He does not want the gardener to learn that he now knows Thomas. Something is going on in Heavier's mind that no one else understands. He enters the house, which was once his, but Thomas is unaware of this. Thomas introduced him to his wife and daughter. Heavier speaks kindly to his daughter, saying, "I know you're a great gymnast." Then they all eat dinner together. The following day, when Thomas returns downstairs with his daughter, the gardener inquires, "Did the old owner come here to collect some bills?" Thomas responds, "No, no one like that came here." The gardener responds, "Maybe I made a mistake," but he soon realizes Heavier lied and came to meet Thomas. Then Heavier intentionally crashes his car and calls Thomas for assistance. When Thomas arrives, he notices a bottle of alcohol in Heavier's hand. He believes Heavier drank alcohol and then had the accident. Because Heavier attends rehab, Thomas believes he has yet to overcome his addiction. Thomas takes the bottle from him, and some drops end up on his clothes. He then helps Heavier relax, and they begin talking. Thomas tells Heavier, "I am allergic to peanuts. If I eat just one, I could die. I can't handle it. Similarly, alcohol is poisonous to you. You should not drink it. If you don't stop drinking, you will ruin your life." Heavier replies, "I visited your house yesterday. I'm really struggling financially. When I saw how well you live and how you are the vice president of a large corporation, I felt even more broken. That is why I drank." Thomas then begins to tell him that the company he works for is actually owned by his father-in-law. He declares, "No matter how hard I try, I'll always be a vice president. No one will allow me to go higher." Heavier then says, "My phone has died. May I use yours? I need a tow truck for my car." Thomas gives him his phone. Before calling the truck, Heavier secretly sends himself an email via Thomas's phone. Then he calls a tow truck. He also tells Thomas, "Please don't tell your wife about this." Thomas agrees, but says he will not say anything. However, when Thomas returns home, his wife smells alcohol on his clothes. She believes Thomas has resumed drinking. So Thomas tells us everything about Heavier's car accident. Meanwhile, the gardener calls Heavier and says, "I understand you did not come to collect old bills. You've come to meet the new owner. I want to meet you." Heavier is compelled to meet him. The gardener says, "I know you're doing something wrong. If you don't want me to tell Thomas, please bring me his daughter's underwear." It becomes clear that the gardener has bad intentions for Thomas's daughter. Heavier feels helpless. The next day, when no one is home, he sneaks into Thomas's house. But just as he discovers the girl's underwear, Thomas's wife unexpectedly appears. She hears a phone vibrating but dismisses it as a product of her imagination. So she completes her work and leaves. Heavier narrowly escapes. Later, Thomas's wife arranges for Heavier to meet her at a restaurant. She says, "I don't want you to meet Thomas again. He explained everything about the accident last night. If he keeps seeing you, he may start drinking again. Alcohol caused a major accident in our lives once. We were lucky to have survived. I do not want that to happen again." Heavier responds, "I did not drink. Thomas did." He then shows her an email that reads, "I'm very drunk. Please come meet me soon." This is the email Heavier sent to himself from Thomas's phone as part of his plan to cause a misunderstanding between Thomas and his wife. When Thomas's wife returns home, she fights with him violently. Meanwhile, we see a courier arrive at Heavier's apartment. Inside, there are 2 bottles, pepper spray and peanut liquid. Heavier pours the peanut liquid into the pepper spray bottle, discarding the rest. His wife begins to grow suspicious of him. Later, when Heavier leaves the house, his wife follows him in secret, but Heavier notices her, so he begins to act very carefully. Heavier attends his course class and sits quietly alongside the others. His wife notices him there and quietly returns home. After that, Heavier goes to see the gardener. He gives the gardener Thomas's daughter's undergarments. But now the gardener wants something more. He responds, "I want you to install this camera in Thomas's daughter's room." Heavier recognizes that the gardener is now a serious threat, so he cleverly disposes of him. The gardener has died. Later, Thomas summons Heavier to his office and inquires, "Why did you lie to my wife?" Then Thomas becomes violent, severely beating Heavier. Blood flows from Heavier's face. Heavier then confronts Thomas's wife and lies to her. He says, "Thomas beat me badly because he thinks I'm having an affair with you. I'm concerned that his drinking problem will harm you and your daughter." Then Heavier hands her a pepper spray bottle, but it does not contain pepper spray. It contains peanut liquid, which Thomas is very allergic to. Thomas once told Heavier this. Following this, Heavier returns home and informs his wife, "I'm going out for a few days. I will return soon." He then calls Thomas's wife and says, "I know your daughter is a big fan of gymnastics. I can help her meet the gymnast." Thomas's wife agrees and travels to the meeting location with her daughter. There, Heavier introduces her daughter to the well-known gymnast. She becomes extremely happy. They take a photo together. Heavier, the gymnast, Thomas's wife, and her daughter. Heavier then sends the photo to Thomas on purpose. When Thomas sees the photograph, he becomes extremely angry and heartbroken. After many months, he begins drinking again, which is exactly what Heavier wanted. Later, Thomas is waiting in his car for his wife and daughter. When he sees Heavier drop them off, he becomes even angrier. He rushes home and begins fighting with his wife. During the fight, his wife uses the pepper spray that Heavier gave her, not realizing it contains peanut liquid. As soon as she sprays it, Thomas smells it and begins to have difficulty breathing. He collapses. His wife is terrified and calls Heavier. She says, "I believe I have killed Thomas. Please come quickly." Heavier arrives at their house and tells her to enter the room. He realizes Thomas is still alive, but Heavier does not want him to be, so he kills Thomas. The scene now jumps forward a few months. Heavier now serves as the company's vice president, a position Thomas previously held. He is wealthy and powerful. His ex-wife arrives to meet him. He has already divorced her. She says, "I know you killed Thomas. I saw you when you added the peanut liquid to the pepper spray. That is why I followed you. You're his murderer, and I'm going to inform the authorities." Heavier responds, "You will do nothing. If you try, I will discontinue paying your son's school fees. I'll also take possession of the house as it is in my name. If you want to have a good life, you must keep your mouth shut. Besides, no one can harm me anymore. Even if there is a case, I will hire the world's best lawyer to protect myself." Hearing all of this, his ex-wife quietly departs. Now Heavier returns home. It is revealed that he married Thomas's wife and adopted Thomas's daughter. He is currently living a happy life with them. In the end, it becomes clear that Heavier intended to take Thomas's wife, daughter, and life. And this is how the movie ends. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.